Hear me? Now you can. What's going on, everybody? We're here. Brittney Slayes is here. Did I point to the right side? Yes, I did. Amazing. How is it going? How are we doing? How's everybody? Hopefully the 30 minutes wasn't too long. Guys, we're joined by Brittney Slayes of Unleash the Archers, as you guys know. Here. Brittney, do you want to say hi?
Hi.
I'm going to put on some music here, too. Forgot to do that because I'm really good at this. We'll just listen to Apex. How about that?
Sure. It's been a while for me.
I somehow don't believe that.
Oh, it has. I like listening to other people's music.
So at the start of the stream, we were just kind of like talking while I was getting everything set up, and we did. I know a lot of people in my community have specifically been asking about meeting. Turn up Britt's mic. I knew that was going to be a thing.
Maybe I should do.
Here, wait. Let me do that, and let me do this. How's that, y'all? How's Brittney
Can I
now?
turn myself up somehow, maybe?
How's that? Is that better, y'all? There we go. Turn her up. Let her flow through my ears. Fair enough. So, anyways, what I was saying is a lot of people want to know about the star of your Instagram, the master shredder himself. Panda frickin' Monium.
Yes, he's currently relaxing in the sun, but I can steal him. Hold on. Maybe I can get him to meow for you guys.
Oh, damn.
Hey, dummy.
The cow panda himself. Yeah.
Oh, buddy. Stolen.
Bring him to us. Yeah, they want the cat back. There he is. Look at that master of disaster. How about the name Pandemonium? What was that like? You always knew you were going to have a cat and name it Pandemonium, or?
No. His name is actually Cow Panda.
Oh, okay.
And we just call him Panda because that's short.
Yeah.
And sometimes it turns into pandemonium or lots of different things.
Yeah.
Panda became Fland, which became Flanders. Sometimes I call him Panda Baloo. I don't know where that comes from. And then there's like just Baloo.
Panda Baloo.
I don't.
Is that like Jungle Book?
Yes. Buddy. And I call him Buddy a lot too.
Buddy it is. Yeah, Axe has a million names as well. She'll be Axe, Sweetie, Sweetie Petite, Petey, Petey, Papeets. It's just like, you know, it's cat owners. You just get ridiculous.
Okay, buddy. It transforms. It really does.
Yeah. And it depends on the. Oh, there's Lipa, right? Then Petey got Leapy, so there was Leapy, Lipa. Scaploony, don't stop. I mean, so the whole interview is going to be listing the names of Axe's cats. Brittney, sit down. I got to talk about Axe. Well, right on. Well, welcome, and I really appreciate you taking the time to hang out with us. We've been talking about this for a long time. I first emailed Brittney after I saw Unleash the Archers here in Brooklyn, New York, at King's Tavern.
Kingsland? No. Kingsland, isn't it, or something?
Kingsland, yes.
Yes.
Kingsland. It's a funny venue. I haven't been there many times, but it's pretty well known as like, oh wow, really? That's where they're gonna play?
Yeah.
It's a funny little room.
Yeah, no, I think we've like solely played funny little rooms in New York every time we go there.
Oh,
so
that's awesome.
Kind of like a part of tradition now or something.
Right.
We did play something called Black something.
Black Rose?
No. I don't know. That was the coolest one for sure. But...
Uh-oh. Wait, I gotta turn off these alerts. I thought I turned them off, but apparently failed.
I definitely got an alert that said, your meeting has been upgraded.
Whoa! That's because of the program we're using. Zoom did that to you.
Pro.
So, I went ahead and ahead of time. I went and I asked a lot of our viewership, like the kinds of stuff they would want to know about you, because I know there's stuff that I want to know. But a lot of people, and I think it's proper that we do this at the start, is we're just kind of wondering about the musical background of you, of the band, of, you know, Scott, of, you know, just of, you know, where it all started. Like, when did music first start in your life? I studied voice in high school and college, and when I listen to you, you sound like somebody that also did that. So, if you could give us a little bit of musical history, that would be amazing.
Sure. Yeah, basically I started singing as soon as I, like, in an organized fashion, as soon as I was old enough. In where I grew up, you had to be 8 years of age to join the local choir.
Yeah.
So as soon as I turned 8, I was in, like, Flynn, and but I was doing, like, school plays and stuff before that. So yeah, like grade 3, I was in the school play, and then grade 5, I was like the lead of the school play, and then I'd been in the choir since you were allowed as well at school, which was since grade 4 you could be in choir. So I was in 2 choirs all through elementary school, and then in high school as well. I was in the high school jazz choir, and then as well as in the local choir. And then when I graduated, I stayed home for a year, did like the year off thing, and was also in a chamber choir then.
Yeah.
And then when I went to university, I was in choir. I actually didn't do anything for the first year. I played rugby, like I was really into rugby.
Right.
So I didn't do anything musical. I just focused a lot on rugby. We had like 6 a.m. practices and 3 p.m. practices and stuff like that. So most of my life was rugby, but I kind of was like, something's missing for sure. I was unhappy. So in second year, I started doing choir as well, and it was just too much, like, to do both plus school, which I was failing miserably at, by the way. And then so in third year, I just did choir, and then when I graduated, I started the band. Graduated university, I started the band. So I've been I took a few like vocal lessons here and there from people. Yeah, like nothing super solid, you know, where I did like a whole year with one teacher. It was just kind of like, oh, I know this person, go to a session with them, kind of a thing.
Right.
So, but I've been singing classical music since like before, you know, I even knew what it was that I was singing.
Yeah.
Did a lot of musical theater as well, like after school and stuff, in different programs. And I was such a nerd. Like all my summers were spent at music band camp. I'm not joking.
100%. I believe it.
So yeah, I'd always spend at least a month of my summer singing all day long. So yeah, it was just kind of it's always been there. It's always been something that I did. And when I tried to not do it, I went a little bit crazy. So yeah, and then Scott and I met in university. So when his band that he was in all through university called it quits, I was like, well, why don't we do something? And this was like right as we were graduating university. So he was like, okay, sure. And then I called up the guitar player that was in his band, Braden, who was our original guitar player. And we started it, just the 3 of us. We started writing and sort of getting our sound together and everything. And then, yeah, that was kind of how it started.
That's awesome.
In Victoria, yeah.
Yeah. I watched I don't want to reference a lot of the other interviews you've done, but there was one in particular that you did a few years ago where you're speaking with, I don't remember who the interviewer was, but she was obviously a vocalist as well. And you talked about a vocal technique where you kind of figured out how to do like a male version of a falsetto, I think. Mm-hmm. And I was very interested to know if you could like talk about this like vocal hack you figured out, because that sounds insane and like really, really fascinating.
Well, I just I listened to a lot of Jeff Tate and kind of figured out how he does what he does, which is a really cool sound. You know, it's very unique. And there are others that out there that do it now. But what it is it's kind of, I call it a mid-range falsetto. So it's not like my true high voice, but it's a way to take my chest voice and make it sound like falsetto.
Okay.
So
that's crazy.
Yeah, and so that's kind of what I've been doing on these last few records. And basically what it is you're just bouncing the sound off of your soft palette.
Okay.
So you're kind of letting it resonate there instead of either, you know, like chest voice or a belt, which is kind of like piercing your hard palette.
Right.
It's just, yeah, it's kind of like you're letting the soft palette do the work. And so it's not in your throat or anything. Yeah, it's kind of hard to explain it.
I mean, that's crazy. I mean, did you just figure this out, or was it something that you've seen other people have taught, or is this just like, do you think you? Because when I heard you talking about it, I was like, did you develop this? Like, is this like, is this the Slayes technique? Like, what's going on here?
I wish. I mean, at the time, I didn't realize that it was a thing that was out there. I was just kind of like, how the hell do I do what he does? How do I do it so that it doesn't cause, you know, any issues in my vocals or any pain or anything like that?
Right.
And I don't want it to be, I don't want it to be like a real falsetto. I want it, you know, to be what Jeff Tate does. And so, yeah, no, I figured it out just by listening to him over and over again and watching videos and watching his placement. And like, you can see someone's mouth when they're singing.
You can tell also when they're like stretching, straining, when the, like, you can tell what's going on.
Exactly.
And that's why when I've seen you, that's why it's so fascinating to ask about this. Cause I can see when people watch you sing, you know, that you're not like, you know, you're not craning for stuff, you know, you're like you're like shooting it, you know, it's like a 3-pointer, you know,
like a follow through.
Yeah. There's like a, you know, I mean, you know, I think that makes sense to a vocalist, right? You know what I'm talking about? Like, it's not like you're more just kind of like sailing it on over.
Yeah. It just took a lot of practice and really just listening to how we did it. And then of course afterwards, like when I was talking to Mary is probably the interview that you're referencing, Mary Zimmer. Right. She's like, oh yeah, no, like it's totally a thing. Like
cool.
singing off the soft palette or whatever. So, but it was just kind of like, you know, if that's how I figured out how to do it at the time without kind of Googling it or whatever.
No, for sure. For real. No, that's crazy. And it works. It sounds awesome. I was talking before we started the stream, one of the things Brittney and I were talking about was how the show in Brooklyn was kind of like in this smallish
hallway.
Yeah. I mean, the bar itself was 100% a hallway and with like a box at the end, right? It's like a spatula of a space. Yeah. And like, so they, what's that?
Spatula venue.
Spatula City. No, it was not at St. Vitus, Tanlin. It was at King's Tavern. It was
I think it was called Kingsland.
Kingsland. I think you're right.
Kingsland, New York.
Kingsland Bar and Grill. That's it. Norman Ave. Yep.
Yes.
That
was horrendous.
But what I was telling Brittney was that, you know, when you hear her vocal range and on songs like Tonight We Ride, you know, that have these insanely, you know, where it's kind of like very busky, belty for most of the song. And then there's just like some crazy soaring note that I was like really interested to hear how that would be. And I was imagining just like sound guys in small dank venues going like, oh shit, you know, like fudging with sliders everywhere trying to make everything work. But it was awesome. It was super, super awesome. So thank you for that show. It was great.
That was like the sweatiest show I think we've ever played ever. It was intense.
Who were the openers were weird too, because one of them didn't have their vocalist. They had like a stand-in vocalist.
Yeah, that was Helion Prime.
Yeah, Helion Prime. That's right.
They're really good friends of ours, and I had invited them on the tour like ages ago, and I was like, okay, I'm pretty sure this tour is happening. I was like, you guys are the opener if it happens. And I was just kind of like, you know, be ready. And then, but by the time it actually got solidified and we were able to get them on the bill, it was like 6 weeks or something before the tour. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't enough time for their real vocalist to get his visa and everything because he's not from the States.
Right.
So they got Mary Zimmer, the same young lady that interviewed me that day, and she was phenomenal. She was awesome, and she just kind of fit like a glove, and is actually now the vocalist for that band.
Oh wow,
So,
that's hilarious. I was really surprised. I think I could kind of tell that there was like something standing in, but I wouldn't have known like 100% until they like said something. So she did a great job. It was really impressive.
yeah, no, she was perfect too. And I totally told him, I was like, oh crap. I was like, who are you gonna get to fill in? Because he's like, I'll find someone. He's like, I'm not doing this tour. Jason, who is the kind of the mastermind behind Helium Prime. And I was like, oh shit. I was like, Mary Zimmer, she's awesome.
Yeah.
Like, go with her. And he was like, oh, okay. And yeah, it totally worked out that she was free and everything. And so it was awesome.
A lot of people wanted to know, what is your go-to like shower song music? Like, what do you sing in the shower? Like, what do you sing when you're not singing?
Phantom of the Opera?
Phantom of the Opera? I figured it would be musicals. I don't know why. I thought it was going to be something musically related.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Phantom and I like Les Mis. I think all the songs in both those productions are amazing.
Hell yeah.
I'll sing them a lot. Yeah.
That's amazing. That's super good. And then a lot of people also wanted to know, like, who is number one in your playlist right now?
Well, the new Flesh God is kind of my go-to right now. It's called Veleno.
The new
and
Apocalypse.
Yeah, Flesh God Apocalypse. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's also this band from Portland called Idle Hands, which is ex-Spellcaster members.
That's awesome.
And yeah, it's like gothic rock metal kind of stuff.
Cool.
Really good. Yeah. So I've been listening to that a lot too. I just updated the Unleash the Archers Spotify playlist Heavy Metal Commute with my favorite songs from both those records. So
I didn't know about this list.
Yeah. I made it a long time ago when we first kind of joined Napalm. They were like, we like all of our artists to have playlists on Spotify. And I was like, oh, okay. I don't know what, to do. And they were just like, well, like, when do you listen to playlists? And I was like, I guess when I'm driving. So I called it the Heavy Metal Commute. And it's just kind of like my favorite tracks from my favorite bands, basically.
Awesome. I just dumped that link in the chat, y'all. If you want to click it and shoot it a follow, that's Brittney's Heavy Metal Commute playlist. Hell yes. All right, moving more into talking about storytelling, because this is like what I really wanted to talk to you about was you guys have 4 full lengths. 3 of them are concept records.
Yes.
I love that. That's awesome. I love, we're really super big in our community into like fantasy and science fiction storytelling. We nerd out about authors and books and things like that all the time. So I think a lot of people wanted to know about influences. What are you reading? Like, what are you pulling story elements from? What are some of your favorite things to reference or think about when you're like conceiving a story or a concept for a record?
It's kind of a lot of things. It's like movies, comic books, video games, just a little bit of everything for the most part.
Yeah. What video game? Just because we're on a video game channel. Are there any video games in particular?
Yeah.
Donkey
Dead
Kong.
Space actually. Dead Space inspired one of the songs on Behold the Devastation. Or was it Behold or was it Demons? Oh, I can't remember now. There's a little bit of Dead Space in there. I love that. Played all 3 of those.
Nice.
Oh, hello, kitty.
Oh, did you see her come in?
Yes.
She comes in like a gangbuster and messes with you and then leaves.
And then there'll probably be there's probably obviously a little bit of Witcher in Apex.
All right.
I would say, because yeah, a little bit of that. Comic books, there was definitely East of West in there. I based a lot of, it wasn't like, I don't even know how to explain it. It was just the character of Wolf kind of inspired the Immortal from East of West.
That was a question I was going to ask, is like what the Immortal looks like to you. Like, I'm really interested in that too.
Well, he doesn't look like Wolf so much as feel like Wolf looks. I don't know.
Okay.
Buddy. Oh shit. Oh god. Hold on 1 second. I might have one here.
If y'all aren't familiar with East of West, you should definitely check it out. It's a Hickman book. It's awesome.
Yeah, no, he's kind of sort of becoming like the main character. Sort of. I don't know how it's twisting it around like that. Jesus, he's gonna like end this video. I can feel it. Oh, there goes my tea. Shit. You're a butthole.
Pandemonium!
He is pandemonium. Oh,
Absolute chaos!
such an asshole.
Yeah, he talks. Pandemonium has been enacted. It has. Yes, for Abaddon. It has. Namesake. We have a title. Namesake achieved.
I think his name is Butthole.
His name is Butthole.
And okay, yeah. The matriarch was inspired by Bavmorda from the movie Willow.
From Willow, which is amazing. That's great. I love that movie.
Oh, dude, it's timeless. It's seriously.
I can't say I've watched it in a hot minute, but I can imagine the bad special effect of the trolls climbing on the outside of the castle.
Oh God, yes, so good.
And I think my favorite scene in Willow is probably when they're trying to turn the good sorceress lady back from a goat. Right? She's a goat. Yeah, and she's doing the goat voice.
So good. Idiot.
Yeah, yes, it's so good.
Seriously.
I will laugh at that forever. It's so good.
I have a friend that I've known for like forever, and we don't even like talk anymore. We just throw Willow quotes back and forth on Facebook Messenger. It's like
sometimes when my friends and I back home, I'm originally from Texas, and my friends and I back home, when we're deciding to go places, we'll hold up our hand and do the fake finger smush.
Oh yeah.
You know, when they're like, which finger holds the power of the universe or whatever. Yeah, so good. So good. Yeah, but I've heard you say that before, so that's an awesome reference. I kind of definitely see that when I listen to it, like that kind of Bavmorda or Maleficent kind of like idea, which is amazing. In my brain, the immortal is like the Thing from Fantastic Four. Like he's made of rock and like the mountain.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
So like I don't know what he looks like. That's why I was wondering what he looks like to y'all in your brain.
Well, he's just just kind of like I don't know how you would say he's like he's not any particular race or anything like that. He's just kind of all encompassing, like the beginning of humankind almost, kind of. I don't know.
That's almost like an alien idea.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm working on a graphic novel with a friend right now, so hopefully you guys will all get to see the way I see him very soon.
Of Apex?
Yeah.
Sick! That's awesome.
I don't know how it's gonna probably take a while, but we are working.
Coming out in 2 weeks.
Check
it out on Amazon.
The first page in 2 weeks.
Maybe a title page in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Maybe, I don't know, maybe we'd do like a Patreon or something where we release it a page at a time, or I don't know.
That's a great idea.
I haven't figured it out yet, really. It's just kind of in the baby stages right now.
No, that's awesome. Everybody's like, throw a wallet at screen. No, that sounds amazing. Would be super down for that. Any other like points of like super big influence? Like, who are your favorite fantasy authors? Who do you read?
Glenn Cook.
Glenn Cook.
Huge. The Black Company changed my life. Seriously.
Cool. I haven't read that, so I'm going to add that to a list.
Oh, dude. It's so good. It's like high fantasy and low fantasy in one. It's crazy the way he writes.
All right. I love it.
And he's actually, if you guys know, I'm sure you all know, Malazan Empire. He's the biggest influence on, oh shit, I can't remember his name now. The guy that wrote those books, The Garden of the Moon or whatever is the first one. he in his foreword, at least for the version that I have, he says like, "Thank you, Glenn Cook, for showing me how, you know, to write a fucking fantasy novel."
Steven
or whatever.
Erikson.
That's the one. Yes, Steven Erikson, and he quotes Glenn as like one of his biggest influences. So that's why I actually started reading the Malazan Empire ones as well, because I was like, oh, well, if he like is majorly influenced by Glenn, then it's going to be awesome. I haven't been able to get through the first book though. It's a little wordy. I think I need to be in the right headspace for that.
The Gardens of the Moon series.
Yeah.
Got it.
Right now I'm reading Joe Abercrombie, the Blade itself, and that whole thing. Other influences like
we do lots of Sanderson talks.
Oh yeah, okay. I haven't read any Sanderson. Scott is in the middle of Stormlight Archives right now.
So good.
Yeah, no,
highly recommend.
I listened. He was listening to it on audiobook, so I read I basically kind of read the first 3 or whatever vicariously through him.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever he'd have it on, like while we're, you know, just hanging out or anything like that, I'd just be like, "Can you tell me what's going on here?" And then like, you know, he'd catch me up or whatever, and we'd listen to it together. So I've sort of read them, but not quite. And then what else? The new, oh shit.
People are asking about Rothfuss if you've done.
Yes, I have the first book on my shelf as a to be read book, and I really, really want to.
It's good that you're waiting, because who knows when the third one is going to come out. So
right, sounds to me like he's pulling a George, and he might be letting the TV people do it, which is wrong. George, you are wrong. They did not do it as well as you can do it.
Oh, I wasn't going to bring that up, but you just did it.
I'm sorry, but I think about it all the time.
I think about it all the time too. So I'm an OG Song of Ice and Fire reader as well, and we talk about it a lot. And I have to tell people, like, I want people to enjoy things that bring them enjoyment. So if you enjoy the show, that's great. However, I think it stinks, but that's okay. Go ahead.
I didn't even watch the first 4 seasons or whatever.
Yeah, I watched the first 2, and then I never ever went back.
Yeah. Because I'm like, okay, I know exactly where it's going, and the book does it so good. And the TV show, like, I'm not saying the TV show wasn't good, because I did watch the season where it started, where the books ended. That's when I started watching Game of Thrones.
Okay.
The show, because I couldn't not know what was going to happen, right? But I also know that if George ever does release the books, which he better,
they'll be different.
That it's going to be totally different, it's going to do what he's done really well since the beginning, which is character development and all those little intricate stories that don't get told by a really crazy rushed final season in 6 episodes. So like,
I love the rage. It's so good.
I just think that he will do it so much better than the shows did, but I still found the shows very entertaining, and I loved them, and you know, I was right there for the final, just like everyone else.
I didn't watch any of them. I mainly a big reason why I didn't watch was I just didn't want to jack up the lore in my brain. So often I watch like the movie or the TV adaptation of something, and then I'm like, wait, what was the book and what was this? And I just didn't want to deal with it. I just rather wait for the books. We have digital media now. It's going to be forever. Game of Thrones is going to be on some, you know, digital archival thing until we're dead. So
right.
I'll watch it eventually. I just would rather finish the books if it's a possibility.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Good on you for having the strength to do that. But I couldn't do it.
It's rough.
Yeah. I really hope that he doesn't think, honestly, like genuinely, that the TV shows did it better than he could, because he's so wrong. The depth of involvement between each person.
Right.
How can you not want to finish that story in your words?
Right.
You know, like, is that?
Oh, you started
going.
You started going a little weird. I think you're okay now.
Is it still weird?
No, you're all right.
Okay.
Okay. I think I didn't have 2 of my favorite characters, Strong Bell Loss and Lady Stoneheart, and so I was just kind of like,
yeah, right. What
whatever.
The hell? How can you just skip That.
Strong bell
Stoneheart.
locks. Lady Stoneheart's amazing. And her whole tie-in with Brienne, it's like, what? Give it to me. I need it. Yeah.
I know.
Lady
I know.
Stoneheart is the coolest.
Yeah.
And then let's see. Did we have more storytelling questions? I think we did. Oh, yeah. I mean, I saw in another interview you talked about how you knew that you wanted to have a male protagonist. And is there like a story you wanted to tell with Apex? Like, where was the motivation to tell the story that you told? Was it just like, this is a really fucking cool idea for a story? Or was there anything else to it?
It was kind of it was just inspired by the characters, really. They told the story.
Oh, cool.
I just came up with them and was like, okay, so there's gonna be this guy and he's immortal and super old and kind of jaded, but all powerful. But he's gonna serve this chick, and I'm like, but why is he serving her if he's all powerful? What is it that's going to, why is he still around? What's his use? What's his motivation?
Cool.
So I was just like, okay, so he gets called upon and he has to serve for all eternity, and he just sleeps for a while. And I was like, okay, well, where does he sleep? And it's like, well, what lasts for millions of years? Mountains. So he finds himself a sweet mountain in the middle of nowhere and hangs out there until he gets called up to to the Price is Right. And he is just so, like, he's seen so much, but he's also really new to every time he wakes up. It's kind of like, okay, how has the world changed today?
Someone else could summon him though, right? Like the matriarch obviously had very manipulative, evil intentions for him. So, but other people could have harnessed that power somehow.
Yes. Yeah. So basically,
I want chapter 2 of the Immortal series.
It's coming. It's coming.
Oh, really?
The next album. Yeah.
Oh,
course.
that's amazing. So you're going to continue the story.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I didn't know that.
Yes. I can't not, George. So
shots fired.
Yeah, and so exactly. He can be awoken by anyone, and he's woken by the matriarch, and he doesn't even know who she is or anything. He just kind of wakes up and is hearing her voice and is like, okay, and he kind of goes and he finds her. And that's what awakening is about, is him, the scream part when it's like, come to me, awakening, follow my voice, come to me.
Mm-hmm.
That's him like hearing her and having to follow her. And then the second track is this Falcon character that
the shadow guide
is a guide. Yeah, is a guide for him to her. And I think, I'm going to extrapolate on it quite a bit more in the comic, but he thinks that the guide is there for him, but really he's not. He's like leading him into the chains of this really, really shitty person. So, and then I was kind of like, what? I know she wants like to be all powerful. That's obviously what her motivation is. She's just power hungry. And,
she's had it set up forever too, right? Like part of the reason why she had these children was to set up this whole power thing.
Yeah, she's known for a long time that this is how to do it.
Right.
And I think she's known that the Immortal was around for a long time, and she's just kind of been searching for him and how to awaken him for a really long time. And then she's kind of like really urgently asking him in Cleanse, like, okay, you like, it took me a while to find you, so you need to hurry the F up because the planets are about to align and I need all my sons in my hands, before that happens.
I love the bridge of that song, by the way. That's like, of all the tracks on the album, that portion, the bridge, the I can give you love for your... I listen to that on repeat. I love that bridge so much.
That's our Disney riff.
Dude, it's so good.
We call it the Disney riff.
It's perfect.
I know. When Andrew came up with that, I was just like, oh my God, I can see Ursula now.
Yeah, totally. Like, it's amazing. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's like the musical moment. It's so nice.
It really is. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. The progression is great. Like, it's just like perfect. It's like, yep. Love it.
Totes. But yeah, so it's just kind of this story. Yeah, it wasn't the story that started it. It was the characters, and and it all kind of grew out of them.
That's awesome. I was kind of vibing you kind of going on a little track by track mission there. Do you mind continuing that a little bit? So cleanse is
Sure.
Cleanse is where we find out her motivations and what she's trying to do, right?
Yeah, and like when they first meet, and she's like, "Oh yeah, you're finally here." I'm like, "Okay,
cool.
This is what you got to do."
Go.
And
and he's just kind of like he just goes and gets them. Is his job.
Yeah.
He's like an Uber driver.
Yeah, and the reason why she needs him to do it is because her sons are very powerful in the world.
Right.
She's made them that way. She's used them as tools and put them in specific places so that she can continue to gather power to herself. So her first son is like in the Senate basically, and he's like he's not the president or whatever, but he's the kind of the guy that moves things around. Think Frank from House of Cards, as it will, before he became president. He kind of was he's the one that is the mover.
Yeah.
So she knows that he's really manipulative, and that he has ways of making you doubt what you're doing and why you're doing it, and kind of bring you over to his side. So she's like, I can't just send any old guy to get my sons when they're this freaking talented. So that's why she needed the immortal, is because he has to do what she says. He is bound to her will only, and so he doesn't give a shit how much money he offers or what positions of power he offers or what. He's just like, sorry bro, like, you're coming with me. So that's why she needed the immortal to find her 4 sons. So so Coward's Way is about the politician in the family.
Yep.
And what's the next one?
False Walls.
False Walls is about the sort of cult leader, the religious icon, I guess you could say.
Hell yeah.
He gathers all the little lambs that feel that are whatever, scared or need someone to look up to, and he kind of leads the main religion in their world. And what I call him is the Wizard of Words, because he gives his sermons and you can't help but love him and want to be a part of his thing. Any cult leader, like if you guys have seen what's that movie? It's pretty new. It's about this like motel, and it's kind of like all these different people's stories, and they come to the hotel and they all have their own thing going on, and it just goes to complete pot because this young girl brings her cult leader boyfriend in there, and he's like super, it's Chris Hemsworth actually plays the cult leader, so he's like so like charismatic and good looking, and he just thinks he's the shit and that kind of thing. So this is kind of what I'm thinking of.
Okay.
And so of course he's trying to spin webs around the immortal, but the immortal is like stronger, more powerful than he is. And there's one part, it's like, I think of the words of my master, and how his strength is or his weakness is my strength. And it's kind of like, it's not that his words are a strength, it's a weakness, that the immortal is able to defeat him with his own kind of power. Anyways, I can't exactly remember the words right now, but so the immortal is just like, no, you can't, there's nothing that you can say to put me in a spell here, bud. So takes him down. And then 10,000 Against One is about who I envision as being her youngest son and her kind of most naive and
one of the video games we play has a currency in it referred to as ducats, ducats, and so
yes.
Whenever that song plays, everybody thinks it's saying 10,000 ducats won. Like you won 10,000 ducats. So that's like a big joke we have, which is pretty good.
That's funny because Grant, we call him G Money.
Yeah.
And we call him G Ducats all the time.
Okay,
which
yeah.
Eventually kind of turned into buckets, so I just call him buckets all the time. Like
10,000 buckets.
It's just buckets. And see, names, they change, they morph.
It's important.
Kinda.
It's
Yeah,
important.
exactly.
Or else somebody will take
Um,
your power, right? You gotta hide your true name.
Yeah, right? Oh my god, I love that concept so
yeah.
much.
Super good.
So great. Anyway, so he's young and he's a coward and whatever, and the immortal begs him not to sacrifice all 10,000 of his men. He's
Yeah.
just like, come on.
I love that track. It's so good.
Yeah, I really like that one too. I just like the feeling of it. It actually started with Scott too. He was like, I'm gonna do triplet everywhere on this song.
That's
so
awesome.
just right around that. And we were just like, okay, yes.
we
Sounds good.
had somebody actually note, and I think they noted this before they knew that you and Scott were in a relationship, but that they noted that a lot of the lyrical lines and the drum lines have a lot of, there's almost a marriage there in a lot of the songs, which
There
I think is a really
I write to him quite a bit. Yeah.
it's a very interesting thing to think about, because that's not normally the case in a lot of rock music or metal, right? It's normally like a guitar melody or something a little more thematic, right? Rather than going along with the drums. So it's like a really interesting thing. So I was just wondering what that, what inspired you to even take that approach? Because I feel like that's different than a lot of bands do it, if any bands really.
I think it was just kind of, I don't know, it was subconscious, really.
Yeah.
I don't like have control over it, I guess you could say. It's just I kind of really listen to I've grown up with drummers my whole life, basically. My brother was a drummer. My babysitter when I was younger, he was a drummer. He actually lived with us for a whole summer and moved his drum kit into the house.
Okay.
And was a drummer. And then when he left, my brother was like, just it kind of influenced him, and he was a drummer. So there was always drumming happening in the house. And then like my first like real long-term boyfriend was a drummer, and then Scott is a drummer. So it's just kind of always been a part of my life. Yeah.
You have a
exactly.
type.
I do. I have a type. It's pretty funny too.
Men
'cause
who like to
sometimes
hit things.
Yeah. No, I'll just, I don't know. You just watch a drummer. Sometimes you're just like, ooh,
That's amazing.
so talented.
So good.
But so I just kind of, I feel like that's the part of the music that I feel, it speaks to me more than anything else. But there was a time actually when we were recording, I think it was Behold, and we had written all of the songs together in the jam spot, and then came to the studio and did, everyone did their parts. And then I think it was Filth and the Fable. And we were just going through the motions, and I was the last one to record. And they got to this one part of the song, and I was like, whoa, wait a minute, why don't my vocals work there? And they're like, oh, we changed that. The drums are different there now. And I was like, you did what? I was like, no, that's like my favorite part. And the producer was like, oh, sorry, it just didn't work. And I was like, how did it not? Who are you to say that? And I was just like, shit. So I had to completely rewrite the part because my vocals were so enfolded with the drums. Like, and that was when I first realized, it's like, holy crap, I really write with the drums in mind a lot of times. So, and I find a lot as well when we're just kind of writing stuff that I can't figure out how I want the melodies to go or anything like that until the drums are laid down on the track. So
that's really interesting.
Yeah.
No, it's cool.
It's weird, I guess.
I think it was really cool. It was Vlad the Lad in our chat that pointed that out to me initially. So props to you for noticing that, duder. Totally valid.
Yeah. Crazy. That's a crazy observation.
Yeah, it is.
You're listening hard.
What's that? Yeah. It's good. One of the first tracks I think I ever heard from you guys was because I found you on YouTube when I was just kind of like looking for new bands to listen to, and I found your music video for Dawn of Ages.
Oh, nice.
Which is awesome.
Low
and
budget.
So damn endearing.
Yeah.
Had you done a music video before that, or were you guys just like, let's make a music video?
That one.
Yeah.
It was actually, we were like, okay, we're gonna like really go hard on this record, it being our second album.
Yeah.
And we were like, okay, so we need to do it like, you know, the pros do it. We need to have our first single be a music video.
Okay.
And so we're kind of like, okay, let's figure it out. Like, what are we gonna do? And I don't know why we chose Dawn, but we did.
Can I make an observation about Dawn?
Maybe.
In my brain, Dawn of Ages kind of sounds like a Coheed and Cambria song.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it's the chorus.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that's so funny. I think I remember hearing the same song. And
it's like also the way that like the stops, the staccato portions, you know, like it was very much like kind of like a mid 90s almost emo pop song.
Yeah.
But I remember when I heard Dawn of Ages, I was like, oh wow, okay, I can jam with this. It's not. That's why when I asked you, I was like, do you guys consider yourselves power metal? Because I feel like there's a lot of subgenres mixed in with your sound that I don't. You know, it's obviously not like a big soaring. You know, you do obviously have big soaring sounds, but I wouldn't know if I would slap Unleash the Archer straight in like the power metal pile, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, I would say no. Sometimes I say that we're like power death.
Yeah.
Or melodic power death. I don't even know.
I love this. Power death. You heard it here. I love it.
You kind of be whatever you want to be, really, when it comes down to it. But and actually, it was a friend of ours that was like, you should do like a Sasquatch is chasing you through the woods.
Oh yeah. Sorry, back to the video.
Super BC.
Yeah.
And we were just like, sweet. And
I didn't know if that was like a play off of Dawn of Ages, right? Like a Neanderthalic style man.
Kind of, maybe, I guess.
Or it was just like totally had nothing to do with the song at all.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No. Because we were like, we don't have the money. We don't have the money to do like what this song deserves, which is like an epic, you know, the beginning of the whole album kind of a thing, and tell the story and introduce the mercenary character and all that sort of stuff. So we just didn't have the budget. So we're like, let's just not do anything even remotely related to it, and have us go on a camping trip and get kidnapped by a Sasquatch. Like, why not? We had the Sasquatch. Oh, what is it called? This Sasquatch Caves out by Hope, which is like an hour and a half away from Vancouver.
Okay.
And they are literally called the Sasquatch Caves, and that's where we were. That's where we filmed the scenes with the Sasquatch and us.
It all ties in,
playing
except for the song.
Right. Yeah. No, nothing to do with the song. So then we were like, okay, so the next one should probably have something to do with the song. So we did General of the Dark
Army. Okay.
And that one was kind of our director. We were just like, we don't know. Like, did you see our first video, man? Like, come on, like, give us a hand here. So he was just like, okay, so how about we do like the backstory of the general kind of a thing, like. So it's like the beginning of his reign of terror, and he's on this planet and he's like wiping out the entire royal family, and he's like, this planet is mine. So good. Right. And so it's just kind of like the beginning of his awesomeness to come. So he when he sees her though with the ring, that's when he flashes back to his life before he was a soulless evil, basically.
I always think about the giant helmet he's wearing too.
Oh
the Juggernaut helmet.
The bucket.
The bucket. So good.
Yeah. It was funny too, because we were just like, oh my God, it's going viral because of the helmet. We're like, yes, we need to put shitty props in all of our videos from now on. Like that was the kind of motivation behind that. So.
Or a water bottle or a Starbucks cup, right?
Yeah. Oh, the next video there might be something like that. I don't know. It was a weekend of chaos that we did that. So
yeah, that's awesome. That's amazing. And then what was the next video after that? Tonight We Ride?
Yes, Tonight We Ride.
And
we filmed that in like 2013 actually.
The Mad Max video.
Yes.
So good. I've got friends that do all the I LARP, so I know a lot of people that do like the costuming thing. And I got some friends that do the Mad Max stuff exhibitions and go to all the Mad Max parties.
Yeah, there's like Wasteland Weekend or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what it was is a friend of ours was friends with Nathan Cox, who did the video, and he was like, I'm on vacation. If you come to me, I'll help you out, like for a crazy price. And we were just like, oh, okay, cool. And his vacation turned out to be Burning Man. So we were like, okay, let's go to Burning Man. And we worked the Burning Man festival with him and his crew for a whole week. And then he was like, okay. And then, at the end of it all, drove us around in the desert for a day, basically.
That's
and,
amazing.
Let us use the stuff from Death Guild Thunderdome and everything. Yeah. So that was really fun. I honestly, Burning Man was just the coolest thing ever. I totally had no idea what to expect. And
That's
ended
awesome.
up really enjoying our time there. Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of misconceptions about Burning Man. Some of
There
which may
are.
be rooted in truth and some of which may be completely outlandish. But
Totally. There's actually a funny video on YouTube right now about this guy that comes back from Burning Man, and his girlfriend is like, so how was Burning Man? And he's like, how was Burning Man? You don't ask that. That's not a thing. It's like Burning Man is inside you, and it's just like goes nuts on it. And I was just like, oh.
it looks like we've got a Wasteland Weekend person here in the chat right now too. Come to Wasteland Weekend.
Yeah, we'd love to do that.
Hell
That
yeah.
would be awesome.
I'd love to do that too. It sounds great. We've got about 9 minutes left in your time.
We can push it if you want. I just have a physio appointment at 1:30.
It's up to you. It's up to you. Favorite movie soundtracks?
Ooh.
Jurassic Park here, easy, done.
Jurassic Park. Prometheus.
Prometheus, good pick.
Yeah. So cool.
If you had to choose from one of the following 3 roles: Blinding Ninja Master, Magnetic Mistress, Speedy Electrical Wizard.
Speedy Electrical Wizard.
Oh shit, she's a Volt main, y'all.
What does that
It's
mean?
characters from a video game we play.
Okay, awesome.
Hell yeah. And then which weapon? Sword, axe, war pike, battle hammer, or chain blades?
Sword.
Sword. Boromir or Faramir?
Oh, that's a hard one.
Oh, it's a good one.
Boromir.
Boromir! Good call. I went with Boromir too. Normally people go Faramir, but I'm like, he kind of sacrificed himself. Like, what?
Yeah, he saw the error of his ways at the end there. And
Yeah.
I think, I don't know. I just, Faramir gives me the creeps a little bit, I guess.
Oh, okay. That's fair enough. Gandalf the White or Gandalf the Gray?
The gray.
The Gray? I kind of like the Gray too. He's less Super Saiyan, a little more
Right?
human.
He's more, carefree.
Yeah. More like smoking, Hobbit weed and
Yeah.
blowing ships.
Letting off fireworks and yeah.
Yeah. And less like I am an angel god of the universe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see some people.
That acid trip did way too much, It just changed his whole outlook on life.
Yeah. One punch from a Balrog. Who knew?
Yeah.
Let's see. We've got a whole bunch of questions from chat. People want to know about you and Wacken.
Vakken.
Yeah.
Like the
Ever gonna
festival?
happen? People are like, is this
Oh.
gonna happen in the next few years? We want to see you at Wacken.
I hope so.
That'd
I
be
don't
amazing,
know.
right?
I have lots of emails from fans that are like, I requested you for Vakken this year and that kind of thing. And
Is that how they do that?
they really just decide who they want to bring or whatever.
Right.
And so, but if you are noisy, that then they continually hear the name of your band and it's up there, right, for the next time they have to pick people to play. So yeah, if you keep requesting us and maybe it'll happen. I know one friend was like, I know the name of the organizer or whatever. He's like, I've been messaging him, assaulting him basically on the internet.
Yeah.
He's like, and I was like just telling him to put you guys on the bill. And finally he replied and his I think it was something like they're on the radar or whatever.
Gotcha.
So, I don't know. Yeah.
I know you've been asked this question before, but I'm gonna ask it again because I think it's a really good one. have noted that once you signed a Napalm, that there was an uptick in quality, maybe a larger budget of the recordings. So just maybe if you wanted to talk about that, if that's a real thing or people are imagining it, or what kind of was the story there.
It was, yeah, there was a definite change in production, but that wasn't because of Napalm. It was because we chose to record with Jacob Hansen instead of just local studios. We knew that that we couldn't get the sound that we wanted here in Vancouver, so we were like, who's the best?
Who's the
and
best?
I love so many of Jacob's records. Like, I am just such a huge fan. He's done all of Amaranth's records.
Amaranth was the first one I was going to name, probably.
Yeah.
And
he's done
FGA, who you were talking about earlier.
Right. Dragonland. He's done a lot of their records. He's done a lot of Mercenary when they were still around.
Flotsam and Jetsam.
So good. So good. And he did the new Flesh God, which is freaking rad. Like, there was just one of my favorite records of all time is The Living Infinite by Soilwork. And I was just like, man, who did this production? And so I saw that it was Jacob. And then I was like, ooh, okay. And I went into Jacob's wiki, and it was like a million albums that I absolutely love that are listened from beginning to end, no skips, nothing. Were all done by him.
Yeah.
So we were like, we're just like, we don't care how much it costs. We're going to record with Jacob. And then so we had the money all saved up and everything, and we were doing it anyways. And then Napalm was like, hey, what are you guys doing? And we're like, working on a new album. They're like, okay, you know, let us know when it's done. And we were just like, okay. And then they signed us like pretty much as we were heading into the studio. So we did get some cash, and it helped for sure pay off the massive visa bills that we had, but it wasn't because of them that we went to Jacob.
Got it. I just remembered that the Brooklyn show was, I think, Napalm's 25th birthday as well. I think.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of fun. All right, what are some other questions we got in here? Let's see.
I saw one person asking if we're coming to Brazil, and yes, we are coming to South America in 2020, and we're also coming to Australia, and it's happening for sure. So
that's amazing. South America and Australia, you just got hooked up next year.
Even if we don't get to tour the States and Europe, sorry, we're coming. We promise. I know you guys have been asking for a long time. So,
any plans to do the boat again?
Oh, if they'll have us.
Yeah.
Sure. Dude, that was rad.
Yeah, the boat was rad.
So cool. And like, we had no idea what to expect. We were just kind of like, okay, we're going to hang out with a whole bunch of random people for 4 days. And it was just awesome.
Right. You're like, oh shit, we're on this boat with all these people, but it ended up being fine.
No, it was so cool.
That's
awesome. It was not a big deal at all.
Yeah.
The problem is having too much fun and being ready for our shows. That was difficult.
I've heard people just kind of sleep wherever the hell they want.
Yeah, no, everything is a pillow on 70K. That's
yeah.
We've determined. But it's a wild weekend, that's for sure.
That's
and
awesome.
I heard that the very first cruise, they sold out of booze before even leaving port, and had to delay by 2 hours. Yeah. Restock the booze, and then also restock again in the wherever they were staying for the day or whatever in the Caribbean on the Saturday. So I just thought that was absolutely hilarious and totally true. There was so much drinking, but it was all good. No one was ridiculous or anything. Like, no, it was awesome. Just everyone was cool shit.
People want to know if you prefer vinyl over CDs and MP3s.
Personally?
Yeah.
Like, for owning, yes.
Because somebody asked if Apex was going to get a repress. Is Apex sold out on vinyl?
Yeah, we're trying. It's all up to Napalm. So
I got one.
You got one, yeah. We're trying to get a repress done. We're actually trying to get Timestamp still done as well, but that's proven rather difficult just because we no longer own the rights to the artwork. Long story. Really don't want to talk about it.
Sounds
dramatic. But we're working on that.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can do. We're all getting Demons printed on vinyl as well, but that'll be a limited run, just like Behold the Devastation was on vinyl for a little while. Demons will be on vinyl for a little while
Cool.
once we get that done.
One of our people in the chat just said that his friend had his child conceived on the boat on 17.
I'm sure there have been lots of many children, many a child conceived on
the metal cruise.
It's great because you get to just go back to your room, you know? Oh, that set was so awesome. Let's go back to our room, you know.
I want to make babies.
Yeah, totally. Babies.
What do you have tips? Do you have any tips for somebody trying to get into like classical singing, learning classical music? What do you think are the first steps for somebody like that maybe didn't have the opportunity to be trained in, you know, their upbringing? What would be a great way for them to start?
Get lessons. Go find someone that'll do like Skype lessons with you. And failing that, if you can't afford them or whatever, there's a lot of YouTube videos that can help. And, you know, or listen to your favorite, you know, listen to music and try and emulate what they do, but don't ever push it. Like, don't ever push it. Don't ever try and do something that someone else is doing if it doesn't feel right. You will get there eventually. Your voice is, you know, it's many different parts, and they can all get, you know, whipped into shape just like any other piece of your body. So if you can't hit a note right now, keep working at it. Don't strain yourself. Do it right, and you'll get there eventually. If
you try and force your voice to do stuff that it's not able to do, it's going to break it. It's going to make it worse in the long run.
Absolutely.
You're going to injure your, you know, tonsils, larynx, whatever. You're going to break something. It's going to get jacked up in there. So, make sure you definitely do it gradually, I would say. But yeah, you're right. It's like a muscle. It's like, you know, the more you work it out, the better it gets, you know, and you can totally stretch further and further and further and further.
I love this question from whatever Sproston33. What are your favorite power metal vocalists and why is it Roy Khan?
Where is it?
Roy is amazing. He really is fantastic vocalist. Do love Roy. He hasn't been like a crazy influence on me. I find, to be honest, he I don't know what it is. I love listening to him though. I mean, his voice is like creamy smooth, but I've never tried to kind of do what he does. But my favorite vocalists are definitely Daniel Heyman from Lost Horizon, Jeff Tate. Who else is good? Oh crap! Not original Iced Earth singer. The second one.
Oh God, who was the second Iced Earth singer?
Oh my God, I can't believe I can't remember this right now. That's. He's a ginger. Shit, I can't. Matt Barlow, thank you.
Matt Barlow.
Yes, love.
Was he second? He was third.
Third. Oh, sorry. I don't know. I didn't keep track of all this stuff.
Yeah, I don't either.
And Stu.
That's why we have chat. That's what I use them for. They're my Google bot.
Right. Totally. I cannot Google that fast. No freaking way. Tobias Sammet, he's awesome. Yes. I can't sing what he sings though. He is right on my break. So I either am really pushing.
Avantasia just had another record come out recently, didn't they?
Yes. Yeah. Apparently it's very good. I haven't listened to it yet though.
I have not either. Speaking of records coming out, you have an EP you're working on or finishing up.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. It's the music side of things is all done. We're just waiting for all the other assets. So album artwork, and we just filmed the music video last weekend in a flurry of 72 hours of madness. Absolute madness.
I saw some of your bandmates' Instagram stories.
Yeah, yeah. So either it'll be super awesome or you won't know what the hell's going on in that video.
Well, given the video history, I think whatever happens is going to be amazing.
I hope so. It's high concept, crazy concept. But yeah, so as soon as that's done, we'll set a release date, hopefully like no later than July something.
Is this EP tied into the Apex lore at all?
No, it's completely separate.
Okay.
It's actually what it is it's two cover songs that we did originally going to be the bonus tracks on Apex, and then we were just like, no, these are too cool. We want them to be on their own. So we're just like,
Cool.
we just made Apex a regular. We didn't do a deluxe edition or anything like that. And then we are putting these out just to kind of tide you over until the new album comes out next year.
Got it. They want to know if you can give any specifics, the name of the tracks, anything like that. Nope. Shut down.
As soon as we'll do the usual announcement, like here's the album cover and the tracks and the name and all that stuff.
Any hints to who you're covering? What about some breadcrumbs?
It's all Canadian.
It's all Canadian. I like that. That's a good one. All right.
How do I find my vocal range? Sit down at a piano and see how high you can go and how low you can go.
Just touch each note and go down and go up. And if it hurts, stop.
Right. And it can, you know, if you warm up like extensively before you do it too, don't just sit there and be like, you know, like, but like you'll figure it out eventually. You just have to warm up like crazy. One time I sat down with Braden because I don't really know. Like I've been singing classical music my whole life, but I never gave a shit about the theory behind everything. I was always just like, I learn everything by ear. I'm not a technical person.
Oh yeah, that was something I wanted to talk about too. How you, into theory you were.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to get better at it, and that's kind of like on my list of things to do. At the bottom of all the crap I have to do.
Sure.
So
I think but already kind of instinctually knowing how things sound make it a lot easier.
Oh yeah.
I think you would be able to sit down and be like, oh, that's why that sounds so good. That makes sense.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I'll get there eventually. I want to, you know, get better at just musical theory in general. So I'll probably take up piano or guitar or something here and get my shit together. But
somebody was asking if anybody in the band is a super hardcore theorist.
I think Andrew would probably be the best of the bunch. He kind of knows the most about it, being that he was in school for guitar for a while there, and he's been playing piano his whole life basically, so he knows the most out of all of us.
And it looks like chat correctly guessed that your cover songs are going to be Celine Dion and Rush.
Oh my god, we want to cover Celine Dion so bad. That's not even a joke. It might happen, but no.
What song?
It was, there were days when the nights were so cold.
Shit.
You know what that song is?
You'd have to do your impression of her too.
What is it? It's all coming back. It's
Yeah.
all coming back to me.
Yep.
now.
That's
You
it.
can just hear the double kicks underneath that, you know?
You really can. Yeah.
So
A good
so
blast
far
beat.
Yeah. Yes. And then no, I don't think we'll ever cover Rush. They just they do their own thing. We'll let them be them.
Let them be them.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Somebody asked about like let's see here. Somebody wants to know how likely you are to play Behold the Devastation songs at a show. 0.
Maybe one day. It's just, we were just at such a different place in our lives musically then that I just don't think it fits really well in with who we are as a band now. Plus,
Right. Maybe
you know,
when you're like Halloween in the future and you have to do like Pumpkins United and get all of your old members together for a big like reunion tour, you can do it then.
Sure, yeah. When we get Braden back, that guy was a beast on vocals, you know, so we'll get him. I love how I said when.
Yeah, right?
When we're back.
You're expected, Braden. You heard it here first.
Yeah, I mean, I love those songs like The Filth and the Fable and what's the last song? Oh,
Four in Hand.
Four in Hand. Love that song. Like seriously, I put so much behind that. That song was actually very much inspired by the Black Company, Four in Hand.
There you go. Amazing.
So yeah, I mean, I just feel like that it's kind of just not who we are. anymore. And I'm sorry for all of you that have been fans since that time and are just waiting to hear those songs live. But I think you might have to scroll the old YouTube for our first ever show or something like that.
Somebody wants to know if you ever go through and watch reaction videos to your videos.
Yep. Yeah. We've seen a few. Some people share them with us and are like, "Have you seen this one?" And I watched the one where what's her name? Oh, I can't remember, but she cries. She cries when she hears it.
What song?
Awakening.
Oh, really? Amazing.
Yeah, I retweeted it.
I
think,
personally,
a while ago.
Speaking of Awakening, I personally would like to request more shred videos.
Oh, okay, like the playthroughs.
Love them.
Okay.
So good. I personally love those.
Andy's actually working on getting a little studio set up in his new place where he'll be able to do playthrough videos.
Yeah.
But like all of us doing it, it's a little bit more difficult.
For sure.
Because we have to kind of rent a bigger space. But we'll definitely do another one like for the new album, and Andy King's gonna work on a whole bunch of playthroughs and stuff like that. So hopefully that'll happen soon.
Yeah. I mean, you can hear the prowess of like the entire band, so seeing it is something that is just like, okay, like, all right, here we go.
Yeah, no, it is.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. Yeah.
And Scott's wearing a Married with Children shirt. Let's go.
I know. I'm a Bundy junkie. Like, what? Oh, God. But he had a lot of comments on that shirt. So
I bet. Because it's awesome.
and the mustache.
I think the headless bass. That screams we're not fucking around as well.
Yeah. Oh no, Nico is stellar bass player. Just
yeah.
He doesn't even need a bass probably. If you put a freaking get some sort of bass
jugs.
What is that called? Theremin or something. He'd just play it in the air and it'd be bang on. So
people are asking about Blues Bro Vaughn just asked about acoustic playthroughs like the one on the morning show. I forgot about that recording. I watched that. I forgot about you.
Oh yeah. Oh, I don't know.
That was like on the news, right? You were on a morning show.
Yeah. The producer of that show was like a really big fan, and he's just like, "Hey, you guys are coming through Calgary. Do you want to be on our afternoon news channel show?" And we were just like, yes.
Sure.
Like the poor housewives sitting there washing their kids' sippy cups are gonna be like, what the fuck is going on here? But and then it was also pretty funny because we were like, okay, if someone listens to this and then comes to the show and being like, ooh, I'm gonna check them out, and then the show is like, not acoustic, people, sorry.
Yeah, come down to the coffee shop and listen to UTA.
But the show was sold out anyway, so it's not like people could have just bought tickets that day. But they we had a lot of fun. We were exhausted. We had to drive through the night in order to get there on time because it was 9 a.m. that we had to be there. So that was hard. We were really tired, but it was a lot of fun. So maybe, I don't know, that just get the chimes back and we're good to go, right?
I forgot about that. That's right. He does like the whole chime wash.
And my favorite is all the comments on the video on YouTube are just like, I was waiting the whole time for the chimes, and then they didn't disappoint. It was so good. So
delivered.
Yeah, exactly. Oh
wow. Somebody says they've only come to Twitch. They've got Twitch on prohibition until they found out you were here, so they came to Twitch first time.
Oh, what does that mean? Like you spend too much time on Twitch or something?
After years of refusing to come to Twitch.
My glasses are huge. Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
You know what they say about huge glasses.
Yeah. Tiny eyes. I don't know. What do they say?
Nothing. It's not a thing.
People, okay, what are some other questions we got? What else can we do? We went over an hour. That's all I planned for, Brittney.
I really should probably actually go because I have to walk to my physio appointment in 5 minutes.
All right. We will say goodbye then. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day. We've been trying to set this up for literally over half a year.
Yeah, it's been a long time, but I'm glad that we made it happen.
I'm glad we made it happen too, and hopefully we can do one in the future. Maybe after the EP drops, you'll think about maybe coming back.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe it
I'll
would be
have
really
to look
fun.
into this Twitch thing here.
Yeah.
I was really enjoying just because when I was getting ready this morning, I had your channel on. I was just watching, and I was like, I love just watching video games. Like as much as I love playing them, I love watching them.
Yeah,
So
come
funny
hang
that
out.
it's a thing, and that some website capitalized on that feeling. I love it. So I have to create myself a login here.
Yeah, do it. You know, if you like what you see, feel free to hit follow. You know.
Okay.
Thank you. Like once again, thank you so much. This is we've been huge fans. Your band is a regular in our playlist. I can't tell you how much our viewership is happy to have you here and honored to have you here. So can't really thank you enough. It's so kind of you to take the time out. So thank you.
Thank you for having me. I had a really good time.
Yeah.
And thanks everyone for hanging out with us in the chat or whatever it is that we're all doing here.
Yeah. Thanks, y'all. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and do a stop on the stream, and then I'm gonna come back in like a half hour or so, and we can do a talk and a recap, play some games, hang out. I got a few more hours to stream today, so we're just gonna send Brittney off. So thank you guys, everybody, for coming and hanging out with us.
Thank you.
Brittney, you're awesome. Peace out, y'all. Take it easy.
Bye. And the awkward moment where we try and shut everything off.